are excited about tonight. So we've been having a conversation that's been going, and we want to continue it. We started it last month, and it's exciting, and we just want to invite more people to come and share on this topic. I know that we had quite a few people who shared, but we want to just keep going. So guys, we just want to say hi. How's it going? And come on, join us, listening. We are excited to share.
Checking if we're live.
Yeah, we're saying hi to Facebook. We're saying hi to YouTube. We're saying hi to Instagram. We're waiting for Instagram to allow the followers to come on.
Let me pop this thing on
Hey,
here.
how's it going,
Hey,
Ella? Good to see you.
Nice one.
Hope you guys are well. Hope you had a safe trip the other day. Back safe and sound. We actually need to catch up. I want to find out about Big Man's first day, how that was. But yes, we will.
And how Poland was as well.
Yes.
How did you guys get on with that? Kids
yes,
asleep.
Must be. I know that feeling. Do a dance. Do a good dance about that feeling.
That's too funny. I just put in let's date.
I'm
done.
Let's talk. Parenting and discipline.
Part,
yes. Part 2.
Part 2, family. We're back again.
Yes, we are indeed.
Let me just pin this up on here.
Good. Poland was good. Zach enjoyed school. That's good.
What's
Lovely.
going on, people?
Hey guys, glad that you could join us.
Come on
so
in.
good
Come
to
on
see
in.
you on here.
We are going to be talking about parenting and discipline.
Absolutely.
It's a very big topic. Sorry, my head is down because I'm just checking to make sure that
everything's gone
everyone's
live
all right on Facebook.
And that it's all working.
And YouTube.
So guys, today we are so excited. It's going to be slightly different to our normal lives. Usually when we do our lives, we talk and we take the majority of the session talking, but we want to hear from you guys. So please do take the time to just, do what you want to do really, but please do take the time to jump on the live with us, share, let's hear from you, let's hear what you have to say. We are so excited to go into this topic and actually talk about parenting and actually talk about discipline in its various forms.
Because it's such a big topic nowadays,
It
what I mean?
is.
So we kind of have to talk about it. I know that there's quite a few people who are kind of shying away from it a little bit because it's kind of like, ooh, I don't want to know what's going on in your house.
Or people don't want to share what is really happening in their house, but we want to hear from you. And the point is that there is no judgment, there's no kind of pointing the finger at who's right, who's wrong. We actually accept and love the fact that people have come from different walks of life and they've been raised in different ways, and we don't ever permit to thinking that we are the only ones who know what's best. We want to hear from other people because we're still new to this. I mean,
100%.
Yes, we have 2 children, but they're still young. Matthias is only 5 and Cyrus is 6 months. So, I mean, there are mistakes that we could have made with Matthias that we can prevent from making with Cyrus now. So we're always on the tip to learn. We're always wanting to glean and wanting to hear new things. So guys, get ready to share. Guys, get ready to share your nuggets and your sprinkles.
Please do. And even like parents as well. Like last time we did this, part 1, it was so amazing because
it really was.
We had different parents come on board, like from different walks of life. We had people who were in their 60s. We had people in their 50s, 40s, 30s, 20s. And it was just like, that's what it's about.
It was good. It was real good. It was real good.
And I think it's really important to have this conversation. So thank you guys so much we're going to kick off in a little while now. Thank you guys so much for joining. Welcome to We Are The Cokers. Welcome to Two Love Collective, because we're broadcasting live to all of our channels today.
Yes.
But yes, so for those of you who don't know us, my name is Ulrich.
And I'm Siobhan.
And this is, like we said, it's Let's Talk.
Yes.
It's a little segment that we put together just to kind of talk about things specifically.
Yes.
And today we're doing a part 2 of parenting and discipline, guys.
That's right.
We had so much fun, the last time, like I keep saying. It was really good. So we're hoping that today is going to be just as good.
Yes.
We've been watching this program, right, called Britain's Best Parent. And it has just like, the conversation in this house just has gone through the roof. Because, you know, we were just like, come on! Particularly this episode. I can't remember which episode it was.
I think it's episode 2.
Yeah, and they were talking about discipline. Yes. And we had this amazing family who came on board. Nikki and David. Yes. And I can see Nikki. She's online. Hey, Nikki, thanks for joining.
Thank you.
And they were just brilliant. You know what I mean? They just broke it down. They talked about what they do.
And sorry, I have to say, we fell in love with this couple from the jump because they were speaking real.
Yeah.
You know, like you're thinking, oh my gosh, you're on national.
This
TV.
This is Channel 4, guys.
This is Channel 4.
Channel 4.
So we were kind of cringing.
Yeah, because we were just like, oh my gosh, what are they gonna do? What are they gonna say? Are they gonna go in? Are they gonna Are they gonna tell it? Are they gonna tell it how it really is?
So guys, if you haven't watched it already, please
do. If you can find it, it's on Sky, I think.
We watched it on Sky, but we found the clip to share it on All 4. So if you haven't already seen it, download
check it
All
out,
4,
guys.
check it out.
It's really good.
I love it. I love the jollof scene. I love that scene. It's too funny. We talked about it for hours. We talked about the scene with the little boy that says he can't run in the jeans, and then all of a sudden he runs and he does well and he wins. And there were so many fantastic
principles, man.
That we embed in our home that we saw them just doing on national TV, and we were like, see that?
Yeah.
You see?
But I think what was even equally as important is the fact that it was an opportunity for other cultures and races to actually kind of see how it is. Because I think that whole thing that you did, the kind of family swap thing, that was just, I was just like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen when they go to Nikki and David's house? What's going to happen? How are these kids going to react? It was crazy. But they did such a good job. And shout out to you guys, seriously, because you guys massive applause because it was on national, like Siobhan said, it was on national TV. And I think is what inspired us to have the conversation, because I think for too long we've kind of been hiding behind, we don't really want to tell people what's going on.
Yeah. It's our culture and we won't push it on there. But actually, no, because they celebrated that. We don't want to be a spoiler, but guys, if you haven't seen that episode,
go and watch
it. And you got to watch the little girl's response to planting. Oh my days. It caught me. It did sweet me, you see. But that's a whole nother story. That's not for today. We are talking about parenting and discipline.
Welcome, guys, again to all of you that have logged in.
Yes.
Howdy. Okay, cool. Go on.
Yeah, so basically what we want to talk about, and we had a lot of feedback. So after we did part 1, we had feedback from people saying, how much they loved it. But we also had feedback from other people saying, this was my experience. Yes. What do you make of this? So we will, later in the show, we will talk about one of the messages that we got from another individual. I won't share his name, but I'll read you what he has basically said. And I want to go a bit deeper because it goes from what we discussed, what we're going to be discussing from the video, which was about smacking and about discipline and, some of the points that were raised.
How far is too far?
All of that. So one of the things I want to kick off with is, so I don't remember the name of the couple, but when there was dialogue between Nikki and David and another couple, they were talking about how they raise their children and what their expectations are and how they discipline. Yeah. And one of the things that the other couple mentioned is, don't you think that the child would find it intimidating?
No. You got to backtrack. Okay. Because I think it was David's facial expression when the husband of the other couple basically said, when I look at the size of the two of you compared to your child, and David's face was just like, excuse me? Anyway, but besides the point. But so he was basically saying, if your child looks at you as the parent, as the adult, being obviously bigger, being supposed to be setting an example, are they not going to feel intimidated if, you are, they have this big support system who's supposed to be their friend, comfort, guardian, all that kind of stuff. but now they're administering a form of spanking.
Yes. So it's almost like the person that they're supposed to run to,
and
receive,
help
and receive that love. Yeah. Is it like a break of their trust almost to now see that person dishing out like a painful response? It really triggered a thought in my mind that thought, you know what, I wonder what other people would think about that. So we want to hear from you guys. If any of
message if you want to come online, let us know. Elisa, I see you. Last time you were bunning up the chat line, so I'm hoping
we want to hear from you, please, honey. Don't run away.
You got your hair did.
No, she always has her hair did. It's not about that. Elisa, if you are on it, we would love to hear from you. Please do feel free to join the live.
It'd be really good to hear from you guys.
We want to hear from people. I mean, what do you think about this comment? Because the point that he raised was something that I thought, you know what? From our culture, we have seen smacking, spanking, however you want to put it, in various different forms. Yeah. But does that intimidation actually
take place in the psyche of the child?
Exactly. Yeah. And then does that mess with how we view love? Is it love coupled with mistrust? Is there trust issues from the offset? I'd really like to delve into any of that, and I'd love to hear from you guys if you want to share. If not, we will continue speaking about it. Because we've got a lot. I mean, one of the things that we know with us is that, you know, like, we try to make sure that spanking isn't something that
it's a last resort.
It's a last resort. It's not something that comes out straight away.
100%. And it has numerous pre-warnings.
Yes,
beforehand. So that it never gets there.
Yeah, so that it's like get me out of jail free card as much as possible. But one of the things that we also identify with is the fact that there are so many people in this world who grow up with mistrust.
Yeah.
The question is, I mean, are those seeds sown from young? Are those seeds sown because of situations like this? Are there other ways that we could do this thing? I guess that's really what I want to look into. But yeah. But
I think, guys, honestly, it was a good point, you know, that this other couple raised. Do you know what I mean? Because it kind of just makes you begin to kind of think about, I guess, the psychology and the emotional well-being. I think we discussed last time, the emotional well-being of the child and how they respond to things like that. But I think this is, I guess my personal view is that I think we have to understand that spanking does not necessarily equate to violence.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I think when you watch the show, the way that they were coming across is that they were automatically equating the spanking of a child to being something that is violent. Do you know what I mean? And I think it kind of goes the same with a lot of things in society today, that we've kind of abused the whole kind of purpose of what it was intended for. And so it's looked upon as something which is not actually what it is.
I think you're so right there. I think because some things have been marred and they've been misconstrued, so they've taken it to the nth degree, it's almost like everything gets labelled that's remotely like it with that same brush, and it's not actually the case. Some things it's almost like, can you have one without the other? Can you have spanking without it being abusive? And the truth of the matter is, yes, you can. You have to find 100%. That fine line. And I think I loved, like, when we watched the clip, the explanation that David gave, where he said, listen, the warning will come, and then the spank will happen, and then 20 minutes later there will be a reconciliation, a time of coming back together to say, okay, so do you understand why this was administered, why this was done, so that we can actually move it forward. And I think that
and I think that's what's been missing. I think even from our culture growing up, for us, because I know that there's because boy, I got licks when I was young. I think most people got licks from their parents in some way, shape or form
in a certain culture
growing up. But I think in some instances, I definitely know that there has been a level of probably abuse where it's probably gone a little bit too far. Do you know what I mean? But I think the communication
is so important.
Is what was left out of a lot of it, because a lot of it was just the spank, it was just the discipline, and there was no communication. There was no act of love. Some families, there was no hugging. There was no form of, you know, expression of love in any way, shape or form. So I think that more so than anything is, I think, what causes like the mental abuse. Because then when it's just one-sided, when it's just, you know, okay, it's just the punishment, or because sometimes it wasn't even the beating, sometimes it was, or the spanking rather, it was the punishments that you got as well. Do you know what I mean? Whether it's you don't watch TV, or whether you got to face the wall, or
that's so true.
For people from Africa, I don't know if you guys know about the pumping one, when you have to hold your ears. You have to hold your ears like this, and you go up and down. Like, it's, you know, some of our parents got creative.
Even those things there.
That was a workout. I'm sure you can see it in Insanity
right there, and stuff. There's a whole heap of like. So but at the end of the day, if a social worker heard about that, they would have to investigate. To be like, well, listen, there's a problem right there. There is a problem right there.
But that was back then.
Kind of like any kind of pumping that is going on right about now, that's social worker.
It's mad.
Listen.
Borderline
we'll
stuff,
keep
guys.
moving it forward. That was over 30 years ago, guys.
Yes, you know.
There's a lot that has
we're better for it,
exactly.
man. We're better for it. Oh my gosh. But
okay.
Yes.
One of the other things, and I have to say this, guys, please don't feel like intimidated or nervous about sharing your thoughts and so on and so on.
Yes,
there is
please,
no judgment at all.
Yes.
But we do want to hear from you. We want to hear.
Yes, if you want to come on live with us tonight, just to share it a little bit.
Yes.
2-3 minutes, 5 minutes on what you kind of perceive to be, I guess, right way of parenting.
Yes, or wrong way of parenting. Where you've seen it go a bit to the left.
Exactly. Yes.
So, one of the things that was mentioned in the clip was about how we resolve the hitting.
Yeah.
And I think, like, I guess the point of it is, are we expecting, like, so one of the things that the couple mentioned is, when you hit the child because they've done something wrong, does that communicate to them that if they are in that situation in the school playground or something like that, someone does something wrong, is it now acceptable for them to use their hands to hit out, retaliate, and so on and so on? Like, does it cross into different boundaries? And I think I can totally I understand where this point has come from, because one of the things that I often had an internal conflict with is, how is it that I can say to Matthias, no hitting, you're not allowed to hit anyone, and then I hit him? And it's mad. It used to.
It's like, how does that make sense?
And also, like, he's not allowed to hit me back, and so it's almost like, how do they understand?
Yeah, it's true. It's difficult.
This
kind of balance.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? But I think, again, it comes down to communication and actually trying to explain what is happening, because I think it comes back down to what we were talking about, which is, you know, my kind of view in terms of what the couple were trying to say, because they were kind of like, well, why is spanking even a form of discipline? Like, why does that need to be the consequence? And I think for me, sometimes it's like I see it as the law. It's like, if the law has been put in place for you not to do certain things. Do you know what I'm saying? And for every single law, there is a consequence.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And okay, yes, you can argue and say, well, yeah, it doesn't need to be, you know, spanking or whatever. But then, hello, can we talk about the fact that people get sentenced for different amount of years depending on your crime? You may get 2 years, you may get 3 years, you may get 10 years, or even 25 years, or even life imprisonment.
Yeah.
So my thing is, if we are going to be good stewards of our children, I think they also need to be raised in a society and a frame or an environment where they understand that there is a consequence. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And I think to not have that, and it needs to be, you know, something that, you know, that they hopefully, I mean, I know Matthias, you know, whenever we kind of warn him and say, well, you know, is it going to have to get to a spanking position? Yeah. He gets his he gets his act together and he understands that, well, I better do what mommy and daddy say.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's going to get, a bit mad. So I think even in that sense, because I think sometimes when you leave out the consequence and the level of the consequence, I think it kind of messes with children's minds when they grow up. Because sometimes they think, okay, I can just do whatever I want. I'll just get sent to my room, or I'll just get... Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, but then see, now, I mean, guys, if you want to jump in on this, please do. Let us hear from you. But what I would say is, what is difficult is what this lady says afterwards, where she says, well, I want my child to do what's right because they want to do what's right, not do what's right because of the fear of a consequence.
But then that's exactly what my point was. So we want our children to do what's right when they're on the road because they know it's right. Yeah. But does that mean that the consequence for doing that thing should not be there?
No.
Exactly.
No,
but that's
it doesn't
what it is.
negate it. But I think it's the fear of the consequence that now stops them from doing something wrong.
Exactly.
But it should be that they're not trying to not do something so they don't get beaten for it.
Yeah,
it's
but
that they need to not do something just because they know it's wrong.
It's true, but we're human.
Choose
and
to
so
do
the
what's
fact
right.
the fact of the matter is we are human. Our nature is to do what is not right.
I hear that.
Because
hey,
if the paint is wet and it says don't touch, something inside of us wants to go and touch it.
It's wrong.
Do you know what I mean? It's like stealing. How many of you have stolen something when you were young?
No.
You've never stolen?
No!
Jeez.
Because my parents always told me that's so wrong.
Listen, I stopped, so you never stole sweets at the cinema.
No, listen.
You didn't put one in your mouth?
I didn't eat from those open sweets. When I was younger, when I was growing up, we weren't allowed to go next to it. My mum was like, do you know how much people put their hand in there? You don't know where their hand has been. All that stuff. It put me off of going anywhere near it because I was just like, it could be filthy. Yeah. You don't know whose hand has been... Pick a mix. Well, nah, man. I
guess that's why I married you then. Because you're just so good. You're just
no halo. Just a difference of how we do things.
Okay.
But I do think, and I agree with everything that Nikki and David said.
Yeah. Christian, you're wrong, Woolworths.
That's exactly the case.
Was a death trap, he said.
Do you know what? I'm so glad, Christian, that you posted that. Because that's exactly the place that we used to go past every day to go to school. And that is exactly where the pick and mix was. And I saw the things that people were doing. They would drop the pinchers on the floor.
It's like, but it's like you guys, you haven't lived. No. I mean, what child... Even if you know that it's a sweetie, you just wanna eat one.
I want a packet sweetie. Even up to now, just give me the packet. It's fine. Just buy the whole pack, and we will keep it moving. It's
back
wrong.
to parenting, guys. We kind of
parenting.
Can you imagine Woolworths in
exactly.
COVID? Yeah.
Woolworths in COVID.
Horrible.
That's why the cinemas are having problems right now.
Listen,
you know.
And we love a movie, you see, but we just can't. We're just not sure, guys. I don't know if it's safe, guys. I'm still, New Mutants is out. I want to go see it, but I'm just like, no. Anyway.
But.
Yes, so back to the parenting thing.
Back to the parenting. I think that it's really important. And I want to hear from you guys. Please, let us know
log in. Come on,
your
guys.
Thoughts.
I'm going to start calling out names.
We want to hear from you guys. What are your thoughts? Is it that you should do something?
Uncle Ibe, if you're still online, come on.
Give us some gems. You should do something, though, because you think this is wrong, so I'm not going to do it? Or is it that you should choose not to do something because you don't want the consequence of
I think it's a bit of both. I think there's no way that you can say to children growing up that you just... I mean, obviously we have the expectation that they're just going to listen. Yeah. And some children, they definitely have that temperament to just obey because they're emotionally, kind of in that place where they're just like, no, I don't want to upset mummy or daddy. But then you've got other children who are headstrong and they're so independent and they just want to do their own thing.
It's true.
Do you understand? So I think to say that you just want your child to listen just because you say so, yes, we all have that desire. But at the end of the day, we have to also be realistic because they're going to be naughty. They're going to want to test the boundaries. They're always going to test look at us. We do it as adults. Yeah. We get told, don't do this. Don't do that. But we want to see how far is too far. In dating, they say, no, don't have sex before marriage. But we want to see how far is too far. How can we get to the edge? And I think sometimes it's an unrealistic expectation.
It is.
Not that we shouldn't have it.
No, but I'm not saying that. But I think the problem... Okay, so this is a prime example with us in our house.
Yeah.
I could say to Matthias, move your shoes.
Yeah, he'll do it.
However, sometimes I'll say to Matthias, move your shoes. He won't move his shoes. I'll say, Matthias, if you don't move your shoes, then it has to be followed by a consequence. Yeah. And it's like, why do we have to get here? Why do we have to get to this point?
Because he is a CHILD.
I get it.
He's a child.
I get it. But here's the point.
Yeah.
This lady on this TV show, she said her children do whatever she asks them.
Come on. But
whenever
that's not...
she asks.
Okay,
so this is what I'm like. This is what I want to know. I want to...
But
Bims,
do they?
Are you around?
But
Let's hear from you, please.
But this is my thing.
I want to hear from you guys.
I don't think that's realistic. I don't think it's realistic. Well, yeah.
Guys,
Nikki,
do you have children?
Nikki, you need to come on and just tell us.
Does anybody on here have a child where if you speak to them,
they just obey?
Say something, you give them an instruction, and they do as they're told straight away. They don't go. You don't have to threaten them. You don't have to add a consequence to it. They just do.
If you do,
please.
If you put your hand up and say that you do, I want to come to your house. I want to get on your diet. I want to even work in the industry that you work. I want to drink what you drink. I want to pray the way you pray.
I want to see.
I just, yeah.
No.
Because, come on. I don't think that there's any child, unless they have a halo, hey. It's just not realistic, guys. Oh my gosh.
Please. Tell me that this exists. Because we've had this discussion even before we discovered this show.
Yeah.
We had this discussion and we were saying, is there a culture, and I say a culture because we know how we do it within our culture, is there a culture that's out there that speaks to their child and gets the results?
My child 8 months, so I have
far to go.
Yeah, we hear you, Chef.
Even if it's the child that's 8 months.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I've even had conversation, with one of my friends. His partner is from Scotland, I think, and her daughter. True. She apparently listens, and we were talking about it. He was like, he's amazed at the fact that his partner has a relationship with his daughter where. Do you know what I'm saying? She just listens.
I remember.
Do you understand what I'm saying? But I think, and this is not to diss, because again, we want to see it. Do you know what I mean?
I want to know.
Because my thing is, can
thing.
you get to that point and still them respect you?
Yes, and because not try and be their best friend.
Yeah, because I have a problem with parents trying to be. Because that's another thing that they said on the show. Do you know what I mean? I want my child to be my friend, but yes, friendly. But we're not friends.
Yeah, no. That's a grave.
No, but I think this is the kind of culture that's beginning to happen now, where parents are trying to be on the same level as their children, and I think when that begins to happen, I think some parents are getting probably the results because the child feels like, oh yeah, that's my mum, man. Do you know what I mean? That's my dad, man. Like we're.
It makes me cringe every time I think about it.
But I think that where you will find those kids that are probably listening is probably in relationships like that. And obviously we want to hear from you guys because we don't know.
Maybe.
Do you know what I mean? But that's why I say about the respect.
Yeah.
Because if we're on the same level, mother, father, child are parring on the same level, talking like, yeah, dad, yeah, like getting all, comfortable. Sorry, guys. We're having a bit of a glitch moment. Glitch. Lovely.
But also, do we want to be raising children to do
that? Don't question things and just obey everything.
In a docile way. I don't.
That's
think
good.
So.
I don't think so. I think we want to be explaining to children all the time why things are the way they are and the consequences that follow. 100. Yeah.
I agree. Sorry to cut you there.
That's all right.
I think Anu, I agree with you. Like, you're absolutely right. We want children to question it and
100.
challenge it, and like even.
And Matthias, Lord Jesus,
he questions.
He's
challenges.
A lawyer. I tell you guys. He's gonna be a lawyer, man.
Like even to some things that we would say, Matthias. Like I never forget. One time, Matthias, something happened to his hat and it got messy or dirty or something like that. And I said to him, Matthias, put on your hat. And he was like, Mummy, I can't wear this hat. And I'm like, listen, we're going out the door, just put on your hat. And I'm rushing him to get something done. And he's like, no, because Mummy, this is the hat that... And I was like, okay. And so if he didn't have that kind of, that strength, that character to stay, no, Mummy, I can't put this hat on, to challenge me. And then I'm getting upset with him, saying, listen, we got to go. Just hurry up, do as you're told. For him to now say, but Mummy, this is the... So
that he wants to express the reason behind...
Why he's saying no. I'm not saying no because I'm being disobedient. I'm saying no because...
There's a reason behind it.
X, Y, and Z.
But
and
again, from our culture,
yeah,
it's like, fam, I don't want to hear your reason. And I think that's what we have a lot with Matthias, because he loves to talk. He loves to explain. You know, God has blessed him with the ability to be articulate, which is amazing.
Very, very, very much so.
And so he wants to explain everything. And there's certain times we're just like, look, I don't want to hear your ex. And I feel like my mum and dad.
You've been asked. But at the same time, it comes with its strengths when he is able to say.
Yeah, but why?
But why?
And we want him to
have challenge it or to have choice. And that's what we've raised him to be 100. Vocal like that, to be expressive. So, I mean, it's all there. I do keep coming back to these ideals though, these thoughts, these things that have been said. And I think like maybe you're right with when you said about the families that raise their children as being friends with the parents.
Yes.
And how it, like, every time I hear it, it grates against me because I think to myself,
there has to be hierarchy, man.
Exactly. When I go to work, I can't smile up with my boss like
we're on the same level.
Like we're on the same salary and like we're brethren.
Come on.
Something in me just makes me feel like, I don't know, but then maybe that's it. Maybe that's the reason why some colleagues go out to the pub and go places with their work colleagues and go places with their managers and they see each other on that level. Yeah. And maybe this is something that's ingrained. But I would love to hear from you guys. I would love to hear from you.
What are you saying? You keep commenting. I'm gonna start calling names. Come on the live. I invite you. Come. They need to know, yes. Come on, tell them what they need to know. I'ma add you.
Guys, if you're not comfortable coming
on, just say no, of course.
Understand. It's not by force.
We can talk
it's not by force.
We can talk for ages, man. It's fine. It's all good.
But yeah, I do think so whilst we're waiting, Let's get that question. Yeah, one more question to go through. So we had a gentleman, and that's all I'm going to share about the person. He sent us a message. Now, we were talking about spanking and if it's okay and things like that in the previous parenting part 1. And one of the things that he wanted to ask us about is... a debate that he had with his sister. So I'm just going to read it out to you guys. So he said, in your parenting discussion, it was very interesting.
Oh, Arnold wants to come on.
Okay, come on, Arnold. You come in, and then we will. I'll read this question afterwards.
Come on, brother. Just became a dad, you know.
Hey!
Jeez, what's going on, Arnold?
Hi, Arnold.
You're right.
It's good to see you.
How's it going?
Good to see you guys as well.
Indeed.
It's going well, thank you. I thought I would be the first to break the ice.
I appreciate it. Talk to us, bro. What are you saying?
Okay, so
what are your views?
Well, I'm a new daddy, so
yes.
learning like most on the platform, but not so much something to advise or suggest, but just to glean from what I went through. So born and raised in Ghana.
Yeah.
And the form of discipline I received was strict beating.
Yeah.
Wow.
With anything that my dad could find, like slippers, metal.
Wow.
Are you serious?
Yeah, really. Oh yeah. And it was strange because it definitely affected me.
Okay.
Affected affected, confidence in school, confidence to speak out.
Yeah.
And as much as it's strange, I knew my dad loved me, but at the same time as well, it cultivated rage and anger towards him, because I felt that if he had just sat me down in certain moments and spoken to me, there were some aspects of me that was naughty that may have stopped.
Yeah.
But then thinking about it, I just had a thought that possibly the same way where we talk about love languages, maybe with kids there are discipline languages.
Wow. That's powerful, bro.
That, for example, in Ghana, so growing up in Ghana years ago, I didn't have PlayStation, bicycle, or this, whereby my parents could take away as a form of consequence for my action. So in certain parts of the world, maybe the form of discipline that they have no choice but to use is the physical discipline, because that's what they have. So that's the form of consequence that they know. Whereas in the Western world, most kids have gifts, so a lot of parents tend to direct their consequences towards taking things from them.
That's
so then,
good.
I honestly don't know which one works, but I was thinking about it, and I was like, with kids, there are some kids that that their love language is gifts. So if that's their love language, it means that there's a value that they
place on those gifts.
Exactly. So if you take that away from them, then it will hit them hard. There are some kids that they don't really care too much about gifts, but they, let's say, physical touch. So maybe physical touch, the same way they like physical touch, on the reverse,
maybe that is
could be the opposite.
And
whereas some kids acts of service in terms of their love language, some kids on the reverse, their consequences could be to actually do stuff, do this chore, do this.
That's good. That's good,
bro. So this is some gems,
so I was just literally just before making this call, I was just wondering maybe if there could be a disciplined love language.
Bro, it's not even a disciplined love language. It's the love language of discipline. So using those same 5 love languages, but looking at it from the perspective of discipline. Bro, that is so good, bro.
Amazing.
That is so good.
Yeah, look, Arnold, write a book. Listen, we need a book.
We need to get Gary Chapman up on this place, send him an email and say, listen, love languages for discipline.
Fire.
No, that was good.
There was fire.
No, bro, that's actually changed
the whole outlook.
On this thing.
Because do you know what? I think we've been missing.
This is a component, because I think this. See, in some people's eyes, they're like, "Hey, that's how I get my child. That's how I'm gonna get them." But actually, that's
in terms of discipline, and it's so good because, and you're right, because if your child doesn't respond to physical touch, but they do respond to gifts,
then that's their area. That's their area you use to kind of
to manage their discipline, manage how you're helping them to arrive at better decisions. Because one of the things that Ulrich and I always have is make good choices. Make the choice to not get you into this place here.
Yeah.
And like what you said, what you experienced growing up was so to an extent, but really you would have preferred if you've been spoken to. So then automatically we can now see what your love language is that talking, is that words of that quality time, that words of affirmation, all of that there. So you can already see the powerful extent of how far this goes. You know, like when you just see things the wrong way. Jesus, you just turned on one light. That was an illumination revelation right there,
bro.
Woo!
Awesome.
Arnold, thank you so much.
boy. I've not thought of it that way before. So thank you for the discussion you were having, because that inspired the thoughts.
Yeah.
Because you work with kids as well, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So good.
Powerful. Oh gosh.
Okay.
Arnold, thank you so much.
Arnold, thank you so
Bless
much.
you, bro.
That
Honestly,
is...
guys, that was a great.
Bless you, bro.
Guys on the call, please come online. It wasn't easy. My heart was popping. I came up. Alright. So
Thank you so much, bro.
Way to go, Arnold. That's excellent.
Appreciate it.
Bless you.
Keep up the good work, guys. Thank you.
Thank
no worries.
you.
Take care, man.
Bye.
All right, bye.
Okay. Bye.
Yeah.
Cool, guys.
Oh my gosh, that was like.
So to all the parents that are out there, I know that your brain must just be like, where's that emoji? I need to find it where the head is like just blowing.
Yeah. I
Because
never saw that.
was
I never
powerful.
foresaw that, but
I
that
never
right
expected
there.
it. Mind literally blown. Okay, cool. So this is, like I said, so for some parents right now, this is ammunition.
Yes.
This is so good because it's time.
You know how to get your child.
But we have to find it now. We need to find which one triggers, because I think indirectly, I think we've been going through them all.
Yeah. Finding which one it is.
What is it?
But it's the gifts. He loves gifts, and when we take away the gifts, but then the gifts here, like even that, because certain times he's like, yeah, take that one. yeah, you can take that one. How long are you gonna take it for? A week?
Listen,
all right, that's all right. I got a couple others, but
that boy, we love him so.
Guys, we want to hear from you.
Come online.
What do you have to say?
Shad, are you ready? Are you ready? You ready?
Are you gonna join?
You ready? Just give me a thumbs up, man. You ready? Annie, do you want to jump on? What you saying?
I mean, we want to hear from you guys, because at the end of the day, even going back to what we were saying.
Who's that putting out the discipline of love language?
Yeah.
Okay, fully. Yeah, you ready? All right, cool. Let's do it. Welcoming Shido, founder of Afrobix. Hey.
Hi guys.
Hey Shy, good to see you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Good.
So, mother of 4 children.
4. You're a veteran. You're a veteran out here.
You're just a veteran. We come to you guys. Do you know what I mean?
I don't know about that. But yeah.
Talk to us.
Trying.
What do you say?
Wow, discipline.
Yeah.
Arnold, literally, I'm loving that analogy.
Yeah,
like, good
totally.
theory.
Yeah.
But you need to work on that and refine it, because I'm definitely going to be using that, like pulling out that discipline of love languages.
That's good.
So
on my
good.
kids. One thing I found is that in terms of discipline, I personally, my husband and I, we really try not to hit.
Okay.
Because no smacking, no hitting. Because I find that, I don't know if other parents can testify, but when a parent hits, it's usually out of frustration, or it's usually out of just that, there can be a build up of anger behind it.
Yeah.
And then you come to a place where you realize, oh my gosh, no, I should have done that, or there is no kind of way of just like
filtering,
finding how far you've gone. Does that make sense? And then you end up with the guilt of it. So we try to, as much as possible, talk to them, and just get them to find out, get them to realize what they have done, or what their behavior is that they have, that they have done that
wisdom
is unacceptable. Generally, especially when the girls are younger, we found that sometimes if you do hit, that's a language that they then feel is okay to do, and they will start communicating that, whether it be at nursery, at school, instead of verbalizing things. That's the frustration that they will kind of like put
out with.
So
good.
We're just not for the hitting, even though I know the Bible says spare the rod,
spoil the child.
Yeah.
Jeez.
But I agree with you. I think that one of the things we've almost we've seen it as spare the rod, spoil the child. But is that because we've seen the rod in that way? But is there a new way of still having the rod? Almost like, can the rod not be physical, but still be
a rod of correction?
A rod of correction doesn't necessarily have to be a physical hand or a physical rod, but actually being something that you speak. Because, you know, like at the end of the day, when God spoke to Moses, he said, strike the rock the first time. And then he said, speak to the rock. Almost like, are we in a new dispensation where we're going to a new place where we don't have to...
You're preaching, girl. You're preaching,
we don't have to use our hand. We don't have to...
Where did that come from? Jeez. Wow.
It was Arnold. Opened up this window. Arnold opened up this window. But I agree with you, Shida. And the thing is, Ulrich and I, we've spoken about this at length, and we've always said, do we have to get to this point where it has to be raising your hand? Can we not get to the point where it's just I speak to you
and
that's enough?
Jesus.
But I want to hear the families, and I don't know, Shai, if it works in your home, where you speak and you don't have to add the consequence at the end, where you don't have to say, listen.
If you don't.
Exactly.
If you don't.
Can you just do what you've been asked, or you will have to?
But the thing about it is, as well, I don't know if you guys experience this, but like I can talk and talk 1,000 times sometimes, and I feel like it's just. But as soon as Manfred speaks, like that is it. Like it is, they're doing it straight away.
My God.
Just, like.
So you might need to get Manfred. You might need to get him online and just tell us. What's the secret? Is it the voice? Is it the voice? It's the voice. Listen, because listen, I'll stop singing. You know, I'll stop singing.
I hate it. No. I really hate it when I say something to Matthias and then he doesn't listen, and then Ulrich comes on, says exactly the same thing, and then hey, my friend,
Bishop.
So we just got home.
I know. I'm sorry.
Gosh, we're so sorry, guys.
Hello, family.
We say, man.
How you doing, my friend?
So there's this notion that there's a power that you have when you speak to the children and they somehow just listen to you, but when Shida speaks, it's just not working. So I was saying that I would give up singing just to get that baritone back. You know what I mean?
I don't like talking too much.
Okay.
For me, it's if I say if you don't do this, I will do this. I will do it.
Okay, so you got so following through with the consequence.
100%. I don't give you 10 chances.
Okay.
Look, the day in the corridor looking. One chance. If you do X, this is the consequence.
But you see, I think this is so good because I think in some ways
it's fantastic.
I think the parenting partnership has to almost be like what we see in the movies with the good cop and the bad cop.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because I think there always has to be the parent that brings the discipline.
Yeah.
And for those people obviously who are blessed to have both parents at home, do you know what I mean? And a lot of the time that falls to the father, especially for boys anyway, that I've seen. Because there's certain times Matthias will run up on Siobhan and I just say, no, enough is enough. And he's in line. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's go on.
And I definitely think there's two different kinds of love, isn't it? I mean, fatherly love is very corrective.
Yeah.
And motherly love, you know.
Yeah, it's loving.
Yeah,
comforting.
nurturing.
Yeah.
So God the Father is a loving God, but He's a correcting God.
Come on.
Yeah.
Yes.
So with a father's love, there is a lot of correction.
Yeah.
Adjusting. Not saying mothers don't adjust.
Right.
Mothers are very like, oh, it's okay, don't worry.
Yeah.
Majority. But
Yeah.
father's like, hey.
Don't start that there, yeah.
Because it's not because it's hurting me.
Yeah.
It's hurting you.
Yes, of course.
And
Absolutely.
so it's constantly that authority. It's not
Yeah.
really gentle. I won't say I have a gentle type of love. My
Right.
love is very like,
robust.
Don't do this because this is how it affects you.
Yeah.
Yes. I like that though.
I'm not saying mother's love is not like that. Mother's love is more, I just stop it.
Yeah. I feel you. Bro, listen, we're gonna talk about that though. We'll talk about like men in the home.
Yeah.
Because I think that is so important. Do you know what I mean? Especially for a child like growing up and only hearing his mother's voice.
Yeah.
Where the mother has to become nurturer as well as disciplinarian.
Woo.
And how that dynamic works.
Absolutely.
But I want to ask you a question, if it's not too personal. You were talking about, following through with, with consequences. Would you be able to share one of the things that you do? Because obviously Shida said that you guys try your best not to do spanking and stuff like that. But for any of the new parents who are maybe watching, what are one of the things that you do? Do you know what I mean? That you've set that the kids know, listen. Because my thing is it a thing that you've had to go to that place of discipline just one time? So that they know that it can get there.
Yeah.
So it kind of puts them in line so that the next time you give them the look. Because for me, when I was growing up, all my parents had to do was give me the look, and it was over. It was enough to bring me to tears. Because I knew what could potentially happen. Speak.
There was so much.
My questions. I'm sorry.
Don't forget, we parent based on how we were parented.
Yeah.
Of course.
So it took a lot of relearning.
Yeah.
My parents were specialists in kung fu. Do you know what I'm saying?
He was getting chops.
Like, they don't care if your friend was there. Like, my parents, they didn't care. So it's about learning,
Yeah.
And it took a while because first it was like, hey, like, don't do that, and a clip on the back of the leg. But then you realize that we're in a position to educate.
Yeah.
Sometimes we think rod means beating. Rod is correction.
Come on.
That's
so
good.
The rod of correction.
Yeah.
That means the pole.
Right.
Cable wire.
Come on.
Good.
Jesus. Or hanger.
When the child is young, it depends the age of the child.
Yeah.
I could turn off the Wi-Fi and it turns my son crazy.
That's it right there.
It turns him crazy. You're not playing PS4 or Switch, and it's all off, and that's he's in line. Whereas
So gifts.
I love it.
Stand still and notice him. Stand still, drag the body.
Okay.
I can't tell John he's not playing. I'm switching off the Wi-Fi. He doesn't know what Wi-Fi is.
Yeah.
Right.
It's relative to the child's age.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But I think it's about the art of communication. Like Shida said, it's the equivalent when parents normally peak when they're frustrated.
Yeah.
Or you throw the TV at the remote.
Jesus.
The remote at the TV because the TV is not working.
Yeah.
It's about communication.
Yeah. That's so good.
Some parents kung fuing their child all the way to their 18 might work, but my thing is, you grow a child, then there's an area of government. There is that government you have to put in place.
Yeah.
But then it's guided.
Yes.
So you grow, so like Jonah's age, you're growing, don't do this. Come on, John, no. Then there's that government where it's complete government.
Yeah.
You're going to bed, don't talk back.
Yeah.
Start to talk back.
Yeah.
Don't play with me.
Yeah.
Don't even smile at my face.
Yeah.
I'm not alone. I'm not alone.
I say to Shida, because the age of our child, we're still learning. We don't know fully if what we've done is working.
Yes. It's only at the end, isn't it?
Listen, I know that what you're doing is working. What you're doing is definitely working. I see it in your kids. I admire looking at your children thinking, geez, Lord, you're doing a lot right. So all I can say is, from the outside looking in,
you guys are doing a great job.
It's a fantastic job, honestly, guys.
I'll say one thing I've always said to the children: your voice matters.
Yeah.
If you think I'm doing something wrong, tell me.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
I've told them your voice matters.
Powerful.
Your mom, your dad doesn't mean your voice don't matter.
Yeah. That's good.
I always tell this story. One time, just as her teacher was acting some type of way to him, he called him out the class and said, "Can I speak to you?" And he goes, "I'd like to speak to you outside the classroom."
Jeez, come on.
And he said, "Speak to me here." He goes, "No, if I speak to you here, you're going to say I'm embarrassing you. So please, can we stand outside so I can speak to you, to have something to tell you?"
And Shan says, oh, you shouldn't like give him that kind of confidence. I said, yeah, his voice matters. His voice matters. So one thing I try not to do is suppress their feelings.
Jeez. I'm getting visions of Matthias.
I want to know how the ending was. When he took him outside, he said, listen, yo, don't make...
This is my feelings. And he tried to dismiss it, but he respected it. He said, thank you so much, Justice. You know, so one thing I try not to do, even if it sounds rude to me, then I try to shape it.
Yeah.
That's good.
Thank you, guys.
Oh my gosh, guys.
Amazing.
Thank you so much. Amazing.
Jeez. Bars.
Brilliant.
All
Love
right,
you guys,
thanks, guys.
See
Take
you.
care.
Bye.
Bye.
Yes.
Yo, guys.
Amazing.
See, now all of you lot are trying.
Yeah.
All of you lot are trying. We're finishing in 4 minutes.
Are we?
5 minutes Instagram.
Okay,
1 hour.
Anu, can we add you? Let's add Anu quickly and then we'll come on.
All right, go on. Anu, let's go.
Hi, Anu.
Welcome in, Anu, to the chat. Tonight has been brilliant. See how all you see how everyone's trying to join now. Last 5-10 minutes you want to join now. A whole half an hour went and you did not say nothing.
It's always the way. Honestly, it's always the way. It's the first person that kicks it off, and then everyone comes in and starts sharing.
Oh,
it's perfectly fine, my lovely. It's so good to see
How are you?
And you, it's so cool to see. I'm gonna make it real quick.
By all means.
You guys know me, come on. So just talking about the friend thing,
Yeah.
and also really following on from what the guy before just said. By the way, the 2 guys before and the lady were amazing. The friend thing is difficult. I'm not a parent, but I teach hundreds of kids a week, right?
Yeah.
So the friend thing is really tricky because ordinarily, especially from our backgrounds, we're like, I'm not your friend, I'm your parent.
Yes.
But the one thing is I remember growing up, when I became a lawyer, when I was a barrister first, I remember that I was quite deferential. To judges and to other lawyers.
Yeah.
And my supervisor spotted that in me and said straight away, you can't do that.
Wow.
Because you're representing people.
Come on.
And their lives are in your hands.
Ooh.
So if you're giving it deference because you're always told to respect your elders, you cannot do that in this environment.
Wow.
And so the one thing I had to really pick up on is and speed up on is that confidence in addressing. And so the one thing I see, I totally agree, friend to friend, what have you, doesn't necessarily work. But I tell you, the other environments, they know how to instill the confidence in their children make their children understand that they are equals in an environment. Makes a massive difference in life later on. Studies have been carried out that indicate that people from our ethnic backgrounds with exactly the same qualifications as other people from greater social economic backgrounds or just white people, frankly, will get much better jobs. And a lot of it comes down to the confidence, you know.
Wow.
See that?
So it's a massive
powerful
thing.
It's
a massive thing how you instill that in a child and make them feel able to speak up. Okay, so in my background, you could never address
your elders
by their name.
Exactly. Well, come on.
Ever.
It had to be.
Always uncle,
Yes.
sister.
100%.
But you walk into a room full of white people. Forgive me to do this on race.
Yeah, that's all right.
But you walk into a room full of other cultures, let's put it that way. And immediately some rooms you have to stand it up. Stretch your hand out and give that firm handshake and address them by name so that they know that they can't automatically
keep you down.
lower your standards. And that you've got to raise your child to be able to do that. And actually that's
So
where
true.
the money counts in private schools.
It
That's
does.
actually the best benefit for private school, because I went to a state school and I went to a private school. And the number one difference, apart from resources, is confidence.
Amazing.
that?
Love it.
Amazing.
Okay, we've got 36 seconds left. So
thank you so much, Anu.
We're gonna drop out. Take care, Anu. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So what we're gonna do, guys, we're going to drop out.
Then come back.
And then come back in just for a couple more minutes, because I know a few people have just joined who have missed out, boy.
If you,
but we're gonna post this. We'll probably leave it on the Instagram.
Yeah.
So that you guys can listen back to it. But we're just gonna we'll come off now, and then we'll come back in and just round up what Anu said. Oh, it's gone already. All right, cool. Share to Instagram. Sorry, Facebook and YouTube. Hope you guys are doing well. I know that you guys have been eavesdropping in on the conversation, so.
Aye. Do you know what, guys? Today, and we didn't even get to go into the question.
Nope, we didn't.
We're gonna have to just roll this over into the next week. Oh my gosh! I know the couple, by the way. If you want to connect with it, lovely. Guys, it has been a fantastic session today. What came out of it, I just think there's so many good nuggets. I loved what Anu shared. I loved what Shida and Manfred shared. I loved what Arnold shared. But there was so much content in there for us to go away with. And that's what we love about it. That's why we invite you all to come and share, because there's such a growth. There's such a growing that we can all glean from the good suggestions and the good sharing that everybody comes with. I just, I know that discipline languages and linking it with love languages was just off the chain, and then looking at it with not using frustration and using words.
Absolutely.
And even going back to like what Manfred said about the rod, and just not seeing it as a rod of correction and just
or
just
physical
powerful.
rod, but actually
rod.
It being just discipline.
Yeah.
Just correction.
Yeah.
How do you correct your child?
Powerful.
If you spare correction, you spoil the child. Essentially. All right, so we're gonna quickly go back on live. I don't know how many people will
only have a few more minutes. Yeah.
66. Cool. Wow. This has been so good. But
it has been
but
really
I think
good.
what Anu said definitely hits a chord, man. That confidence is so important.
Yes.
And you know what? I even want to go a step further to say, hey guys, thanks for coming back.
So good to see you.
Yeah, like even the comment that you made, Anu, about confidence, you know, I think it's so important.
It is.
But I think even to take it a step further is sometimes because of the way that you discipline, you strip your child of the confidence.
Yeah.
Because I think sometimes your discipline can be so overbearing and kind of oppressive. Is that the right word?
Yeah, definitely.
That it strips your child of the even, because I think Arnold, you kind of mentioned it
about the upbringing
that you experienced and how Ghana, you know, the spanking and the beating and stuff was so extreme, you know, that it kind of stopped you from even being able to kind of function the way that you were probably supposed to and enjoy things as a child is supposed to enjoy.
And it's terrible because like, even, sorry just to cut in there, but it's like what we shared with the other one. You don't want to break your child.
Elaine said that.
That's not the objective as a parent, to bring correction to the extent that you're breaking your child, you're breaking their spirit, you're breaking their confidence and shattering that ability to now move forward. Because even with what Anu shared about the confidence, I think, like, at the beginning of this conversation we talked about the levels and being friends, and I had such a problem. I could feel cringing within me, thinking, Jesus, could you imagine if my child called me Siobhan and not Mummy? Jeez. You know, like, saw me as their best friend and felt that they could tell me, listen man, you better just, you know, any kind of thing like that would just make me want to feel like I'm going crazy.
Oh, Monique wants to join.
Come and jump on, Monique. It would be great to hear from you.
Where'd you go?
You still there?
Where'd you go? All right, bring you back. Hold on.
Monique. Oh, how... Hope you're still there. It would be lovely to have you join.
Yeah, man.
But I just think if that's one of the things that we almost need to forfeit, because it's so big in our culture, respect, how to address the adults, how to speak properly, how to children are seen and not heard, all of these things we've grown up so thick in our culture.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if these are the things that are almost prohibiting,
limiting us
from actually just making some simple leaps and bounds forward in our careers, in our ability to engage with others, in our ability to...
Yeah, but I think, sorry to cut you, I think it's also like what Elder Jessica said as well, because she was talking about that's what you knew, that's what your
true.
Where we grew up, that was the culture of the environment that we were around.
Absolutely.
So for that time, it was quote unquote acceptable for that time, because that's all you knew. But when we shifted over to the Western world, a lot of us who migrated over from the Caribbean or from Africa, or even from India and other countries, when we came to the Western world, it was almost now, how do we retain what we know in a strange land?
Ooh.
It's like when the Bible says, how can we sing the Lord's song in a strange land? Like, how do we mix this? Because it's a different environment, which may call for different strategies and different ways of actually doing things. And I think for us, that's what's difficult. Because in some way, it's and I think sometimes the frustration of parents is because I guess our environment now being in the Western world, it's almost stripping us of our culture. Because now we're being forced to now conform
to
the environment that we're in. And I think that is literally the balance that we have to kind of like work out and stuff.
You're absolutely right. And I think that just going back to what you said and just like tying the two in, Manfred mentioned it as well. You parent from the environment that you were parented
100%.
in. So now you've seen this, but then you've also seen Jimmy, Bobby, another culture raising their child
a different way.
They do it completely differently.
Go to your room, Johnny.
And you're seeing kids shout back at parents.
Ooh, that will not be happening here.
I don't know. I don't know about you guys. I don't know if that was a done thing.
It's tricky, guys. It's tricky. How do we do it?
Exactly.
How do we I think maybe we should ask the question, like Anu, how do we give them the confidence? When in some ways as parents, we're still trying to find our confidence in the world that we live and work in right now.
Come on.
And sometimes that's down to the color of our skin. Down to oppression, down to, the kind of undertones of racism that surrounds us every single day. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Does anybody have like a view on that? Like, how do we raise confident children when we ourselves as parents are learning how to embrace that confidence even in ourselves?
I think that like they are such strong, powerful principles that we continually have to look at what has been shown to us and what has been like how it can, even if it hasn't been modeled, how can we now begin to model it? How can we now begin to actually impact the lives of our children and so on and so on? But I know it's getting late, and I kind of feel like
we could roll again.
Exactly, we could end up rolling around into another hour. So, but let's hold on to this topic. Here,
part 3, guys.
We'll have to go for part 3, and I know we didn't even get to go through this question.
Should we tackle it though?
I think it's a big one, and the minute we open this topic, it's just gonna
can of worms.
Exactly, because it's extremely, extremely deep.
Cool.
And we want to hear from you guys as well.
100%. Guys, thank you guys so much for all of you that logged in. We hope that you've taken something from it. Again, this is Let's Talk. parenting and discipline part 2. We are definitely going to do a part 3.
We have to.
Because I think this conversation can continue.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I don't think it's a conversation that can really ever end.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because there's just so much to learn from it. Like, even when we were doing this part 2, I was asking Siobhan, I was like, have we got stuff to talk about? Because
we want to hear
we
from
were just like,
people.
we felt like we covered so much ground in part 1, but it's always...
And now hearing part 2, it's just like...
Wow.
Oh my gosh. That is powerful. Literally. That is amazing.
This is why iron sharpeneth iron.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter from which level, because this is another thing as well. I think sometimes we think that just because, you know, we're at a particular level that we're not able to inspire people who are even ahead of us.
Absolutely.
Because look at Arnold. Arnold has just become a dad, literally, some months ago. And he's been able to bring something
so powerful
that even us, I wouldn't even say we're midway. We're still...
But so you've got Shida and Manfred. They've got 4 children. And Arnold's child is less than 6 months.
Yeah.
And yet he's sharing nuggets that are feeding hundreds of parents. So honestly,
this is why it's important to talk, guys. This is why it's called Let's Talk.
Let's Talk.
Because in the counsel of many there is wisdom. So guys, we're gonna continue to do this. Thank you guys so much again for joining us. Like we always say, you could have been watching Prime, could have been watching Netflix, could have been watching Disney for those of you that got Disney, but you decided to join us tonight, and we completely and utterly appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
So look out for our stuff. Please follow us on all of our social medias, Two Love Collective, and We Are the Cokers. We're always doing something every single Tuesday night
at 9 p.m.
We are celebrating 10 years of marriage this year, guys. It's like 2.5 weeks left to go.
Yes.
Oh, it's gonna be amazing. So yes, please like, share, subscribe to all of our channels. Share this link with somebody who might need it. Do you know what I mean? Because that's also important as well. And next week. So next week, obviously, we're counting down, to our anniversary.
Yes.
So next week, we've decided that we're gonna
do a 2-week special where we kind of like just talk to you guys about what it was like for us to get engaged, what it was like for us to.
Just the lead up to the whole thing, like how did it all happen? Thank you guys, appreciate it.
Thank you.
I can't remember what we said we were gonna call it.
I think we said hand in marriage. I think it was.
Your hand in marriage.
Yeah. But guys, you'll see the artwork. You'll see the artwork with the name of the
we'll
topic
decide
for next week.
But we're gonna talk about. I'm gonna talk about how I guess asked for Siobhan's hand in marriage. Jeez, I'm a Mr. Traditional, so that was quite interesting, and my heart was beating hard.
Yes.
But so we'll share on that story and how we planned our wedding, because we did it like literally a year before we even got engaged.
And
so we'll go into the story.
So we'll be going back to the journey so far.
Yes. See guys, this is our problem. We just can't stop chatting. But no, we're gonna go now. And we'll see you guys next week.
But if you want to catch the replay of this, it will be on social media, and it will also be on YouTube. And when I say social media, I mean it will be here on Instagram, and it will be on Facebook, and you'll catch it on YouTube as well, because it's on both of our Two Love Collective and the Cokers. We Are the Cokers page. So you can catch up from there. Take care, guys.
Good night.
Who's this becoming the Cokers? Hashtag.
I like that hashtag.
I do like that hashtag.
I might use that. Is that Josiah? I'm sure that's Josiah.
Killing
anyway, guys, we'll see you guys later. Peace out. Bye
guys.